Hey everybody, how's it going? A bit of a ramble update video here, with no real purpose. Basically, first off, um, my Let's Make a Model series, with Pathfinders being the first one. Um, Being that I don't paint that much during the weekday, uh, I work during the day, and the time I have after work, I usually do stuff like play some video games or some MMOs, or a little bit of painting here and there, but primarily what I do is basic modeling, getting the chest put together for space scenes, for example, and maybe some base painting, so like base coating them black or whatnot, as well as getting my bases done is what I do during the the weekdays primarily. Now, considering these are slotted bases, I can't do the bases. I'm going to do them at the end. So, and the red is a kind of like an in between detailish work and basic work because I'm going to just paint the red without making a mess. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get I'll do the feet of everybody one day and then whatnot. But chances are you're gonna have to wait until the weekend to get an update for these things. I do apologize about that, but just have to be patient and it will get done. But something to expect for that series in general is that it'll be a weekend only type of thing. So it will take a while to get them done, especially well, not them, but if I'm doing, let's say, a Land Raider, it may take some time to get that done because I'm gonna do it. How I do it is I do it in steps of the video. So once I finish a step, I gotta make a video on it. So if I'm doing a paint fest, I won't paint that because I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'll paint something else. So you get the idea. So that's that. Secondly, the next Codex in depth will be Witch Hunters, but the reason I'm showing you this is because they're both Inquisitorial armies. So I'm going to do a video before the Witch Hunters in depth series, talking about taking Inquisitor armies as allies or taking allies for these armies. What I mean is, taking allies for these armies means Demon Hunter is your primary army. That's essentially this is your primary book if you're Demon Hunters or Witch Hunters, depending. Obviously, the Witch Hunter book would be your primary if you're Witch Hunters. And I'll go over this in its own video, more so. And you take this for your compulsory choices, and then you take allies from the Space Marine or Imperial Guard Codex as per the restrictions and the rules, or take allies with the Witch Hunters, and Witch Hunters take Demon Hunter allies, but we'll go over that. And yeah, you play it that way. The other way is taking the Inquisitorial armies as allies, meaning you play Space Marines, Black Temples, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Imperial Guard, and you can take stuff from the Demon Hunters or Witch Hunters Codex as allies to those armies. So basically, your compulsory HQ and 2 troop choices would be from those armies, and you take the other stuff as per the rules and restrictions from the Demon Hunters or the Witch Hunters Codex. But we'll go more in depth on that, obviously, in its own video. I'm going to do that just because it is unique to both armies. Aside from specific like fun gaming aside, no other codices can really do that. Like Tau can't just take Imperial Guard allies because they want to. I mean, in pickup games, of course, but tournament-wise, it's not allowed. Unless the tournament has specific rules because they're doing something crazy like that. So anyway, that'll happen before the Witch Hunter Codex in depth. So I'm gonna try and get it up tomorrow, or within this week, so I can start the Witch Hunter Codex in depth this week as well. So that's this. And other news, that statue Rebel thing I did, that I showed you the video of with my fiery destroyed marker. I am going to write up some rules, some just preliminary experimental rules for making a gaming scenario in which you battle in a large structure. Essentially, the entire game board would be like a gigantic building, like maybe some huge manufactorum complex, or perhaps the insides of a space hulk or a grand ship, like a big loading bay / docking bay type of thing, or a storage bay, something like that, where things like that would represent rubble or count as forest terrain, quote unquote. Not that specifically, but ruined pillars, ruined superstructure, stuff like that. So you can battle inside this huge building, kind of like a change of scenery, and pretty much making rules for what's difficult terrain, what provides cover, what doesn't, stuff like that. Because you're not battling in a city through terrain, you're actually battling in this one gigantic structure, so it wouldn't be fully difficult terrain, it wouldn't be full of cover saves, it'd be specific areas. That's just an idea I've always had in my head, and when I made that, I kind of thought about it more so I'm going to be working that as a tertiary type of thing amongst doing other stuff, like typing up some experimental rules, and I'll share them with you once I'm done with the draft, if you will. But, in speaking of my fiery destroy thing, here it is. Called a fiery thingy, the smoke thingy. Some things I wanted to talk about with this really quickly. It's just a tea candle light. It does not generate heat. I know some people were worried about that. I shouldn't say it doesn't. Any light is going to generate heat, but I really don't think it'll cause a fire. It is standard cotton. But even so, the heat is so minimal that you probably have to leave it on until the battery runs out. Don't test this, obviously. I don't want to get some hate mail or some type of court case saying, you said it wasn't going to burn and then my house burned down. So, but I wouldn't worry about it for your standard gaming purposes. I am making a second one, so I'll show you it in progress to show you exactly what it is. You take some cotton, you stretch it out carefully, and if you do it too much like here, you can just glue it to itself, and that's okay if it kind of bobs over to one side or the other. As you put the cotton around it, you're going to glue the cotton to each other. So like these two pieces of cotton will glue to each other as well as the candle. And then as you do that, it'll give support to like these dangling things, and they'll sit upright. There is no exact science to this, no real rhyme or reason other than cover the light completely. So you look on the top, you still can't see it. So you're going to want to glue it up so when it sits like that, like attached up like this, and all around it. So pretty much it's just cotton balls. The bigger the cotton ball, the better. The cotton puffs, whatever they're called on the package. You know what I'm talking about. You use them for nail polish remover half the time, or for babies, stuff like that. It's also as a ball. And then you pull it apart gently. And you have to be careful. No, I say bigger the better because you're essentially pulling them apart, but relying on the cotton's essentially knotted fashion of being a gigantic knot of cotton essentially to hold together. So the bigger it is, the more play you're going to have with it. And then you just glue it to the sides right here. Make sure also you cover the sides completely, so like in essentially, if the cotton, because these are on little feet there, if the cotton can touch the table, the better. But as long as this covers completely the actual tea candle light, and then I'll turn it on without anything. So that's what it looks like on. You can kind of see it flickering there. So this is the entire apparatus. You can get, like, I think this came with like 12, 16 or so tea candle lights. So you can have for relatively cheap. I should say pretty darn cheap. So you shouldn't really have a problem there. But that's pretty much it. You just continue this process of gluing it around. It's not rocket science. It's not nothing precise or exact. You just glue it until it looks kind of cool, bulbous, and maybe flame shaped, spike it out a bit on the top so it's not like just a puff. When you pull it out and glue it, then after it's dry, maybe spike it up with your hands, like pulling it out gently to make it kind of go in the tips. And then once that's fully how you like it, you take it and you spray paint it black here and there without making it too black, so some of the white shines through and it looks kind of gray. And then you're done. So I hope that helped. I'm kind of a mini tutorial in this ramble. But that's pretty much it. So expect that Inquisitorial Ally thing video, followed by Codex and Does Witch Hunters, and over the weekends will be my Let's Make a Model when I do them. So with this Pathfinders, hopefully I can finish the Pathfinders this coming weekend for sure, if I just dig down and paint. I do get sidetracked pretty easily these days. But that's pretty much it. So hope you enjoyed this ramble, and until next time, take it easy. And remember, any questions, comments, or criticism, PM me or leave comments. So yeah, take it easy.